Hello, Taylor here, and Gio has Rufio. So I'm going to be narrating this VPR. So Rufio is working on leash work. Leash work is something that we've been working with Rufio for a long time. However, when the seasons change, it's really hard to walk the dogs because it gets really, really hot around summertime here, like extremely hot. And typically we do our S.M.A.R.T sessions in the middle of the day, so we're not able to catch the early morning cooler temperature. So we have to kind of table leash training for a while until the temperature goes back to a more agreeable temp. So we are at a more agreeable temp. It is a little bit colder today, but it's perfect to practice some leash training and kind of get back to where we were. So leash training is a skill that kind of has to be for some dogs. You know, every dog is different. For Rufio, he struggles particularly with leash training in his neighborhood. This neighborhood is a lot. We are in Mid-City, and there is just so much that goes on in Mid-City. Also, Rufio used to be a stray, so he's very, I guess you could say, reinforced by his environment, which makes sense. He's a dog. So when people say, "Oh, my dog just keeps on pulling in the neighborhood," blah blah, I want you guys to understand that neighborhood walks are the hardest walks. I hope you guys can still hear me. They are the hardest walks for most dogs because there's so much going on typically in the neighborhoods in the cities we live in. Meanwhile, sometimes decompression walks are simple. Decompression walks where you have the dog on maybe a longer line and maybe like a park area without that many rules. Meanwhile, for neighborhood walks, we require a little bit more rules because the dog is on the sidewalk close to a street, and they have to be on a shorter leash. And this is what we do primarily all of our leash training. Typically people call us for leash training to walk their dogs in their neighborhoods. So I hope all that makes sense what I just said. So for Rufio, he has always struggled with this. So yes, I've been training him for a long time, but I don't want that to discourage you, Annie, or discourage anyone else who is watching, who has been working on leash training with their dog, and they find that everything is just so hard. So Rufio used to be on an anti-pull harness in the past. We changed it because we found that he actually prefers this harness. Gio has been working with him on this harness for a while. For just a very few sessions actually. He really digs this harness. It's very similar to Roughwear's Webmaster harness. I gotta get the brand. Gio, what brand of harness is that?
Rabbit Goo.
Let me see if I can get a zoom in on that.
Rabbit Goo.
It looks just like the Roughwear Webmaster harness. Anyway, it's a really well-made harness, and Gio has it on the back clip. The back clip does not help with the pulling at all. So this is the thing about anti-pull harnesses, guys. Anti-pull harnesses are not going to cure. 1 second. Everything is loud.
I have a front clip connection.
Oh no. So there's no front clip on here, but my point is, he used to be on the anti-pull, and I believe he destroyed it. But that being said,
he destroyed it.
And it's like the problem with the anti-pull harness is that we like to recommend them a lot, but we always tell our clients, this disclaimer, the anti-pull harness will not stop the pulling. The training will stop the pulling. And since Rufio destroyed his, we're not going to make his mom buy another one. She can buy whatever she wants to buy. She bought this one. So we're going to focus on the training. So this is the goal with leash training, guys, is to train the dog without having to rely on tools.
Okay, you did a good job.
Also, the anti-pull does not work him at all. So. Anyway, so we're keeping this walk. It's actually a longer walk than what we usually do. Gio's going back and forth right here because we're close to the home. He does way better close to the home. If I had to rank, I like to rank our dog's environments. Inside the house is easy. The backyard is hard. The sidewalk is harder. But he has been training in these three areas for a long time. So walking on his sidewalk near his home has become a really successful space for him. However, as soon as we get too far from the home, that's when things start to get really hard. So Rufio really wants to, I'm assuming, sniff the box, right, Gio?
Sniff the box.
He wants to sniff the box, but Gio is trying to see if he can give us some behavior before doing so. Again, we want him to sniff, but if he's checking out, like so, checking out meaning he is just so hyper-focused on everything around him, what's probably going to happen next is other behavior we don't like, maybe even some reactive behavior. But it's really important to know that if he's checking out so often, then you can expect that. He used to be very, very, very reactive, and we worked really hard on that.
You ready? We're gonna go sniff. You ready? Okay, let's go. Yeah.
Quickly go sniff. Allow him a win. Oh, he just wants to sniff. No, he just wants to be over there. Okay. Okay, good boy. He checked back in. We know that dogs are going to be dogs. We're not going to check in all the time. But if you have a reactive dog and you know their tails, then you know where they start checking out, pulling, lunging, not even just ignoring everything. Then keep in mind and watch the environment. What's going on in the environment to make them do that? Is a reaction coming? That's what we always trying to figure out when we're working with our dogs. Gio's keeping it light and fun, being really silly and goofy. You have to understand, like I said, neighborhood walks are very hard. So making yourself more enriching than the environment is usually the way to go. That's why we're always so goofy when we train.
Let's go this way.
He loves this.
Okay. We're going to go back to your house. Ready? Let's go this way.
Anyway, Rufio did really, really good today. If you have any questions, let us know. But we are going to continuously work on this, as we always do. Have a good day.